Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Now We're Talking Baby.
One of our final episodes.
One of our final episodes. We're coming to the end of an era, babes.
37 weeks today.
We've had an exciting week with baby-related stuff.
We have actually.
We had the pilgrimage to the bump, i.e. baby shower.
Well, as you might like to call it, the wetting of the baby's head.
Oh, I wet the baby's head quite a bit.
I know. I had to look after you where you were crying the next day.
I was just tired. All right.
No. But the baby shower was lovely. It's been... I feel like I've never planned for something so much as that.
One, we've never hosted before. Two, everyone that came to the baby shower was obviously different parts of both of our lives. They'd never all met before.
Very close, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Our families met for the first time.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was actually, do you know what? It was a really wholesome and special day.
It was so wholesome.
I loved it. It was a bit stressy at first because it was raining and we're like, fuck, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Is it
I
not?
know. I was
going
to sit here and moan about all the things that went wrong, but I'm not going to do that.
No, it's not moan because it was a special and lovely day,
I mean, the women did fuck up my balloons and the rain was annoying and the guy fucked up our food order, but that's okay.
Okay, you had to get it, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, but apart from that, it was parents meeting for the first time. It was friends meeting for the first time.
Sorry, can we just revisit that? I cannot believe after 3.5 years, our families are only just meeting.
I think that's quite normal though. I think sometimes families
That's not normal.
Really?
That's not normal.
Yeah, okay, maybe not normal, but at least they've met now,
No, yeah, at least they have now, yeah.
I curated, with the help of my friend, curated some games.
That honestly was the highlight
The games
of the day.
I put a lot of effort in. I printed them out, put them in these plastic sleeves that stood up. I got all the props. We had
change the baby's nappy blindfolded.
Whoa. It's called Nappy Rush, right?
Okay, Nappy
As a play
Rush.
on the name for Nappy Rash.
Yeah, so you are blindfolded and you got to change the baby's nappy in world record timing.
Someone did it in 7 seconds.
That was Misha.
Misha did it in 7 seconds, which
7 seconds.
Blindfolded. She is a mum. I should have docked her points for that, but 7 seconds.
Yeah, and just for context, someone did it in 2 minutes.
2 minutes 16 was Joe.
Yeah. What other games did we have? We had Guess the Babies in the Jar.
Yeah. Bought these little plastic tiny babies off Amazon, put them in a jar.
Naked babies.
Yeah, that was fun. We did. Oh, I think the best one was Guess the Baby Food. I went out and bought for 4 pots of baby food, took the labels off. And they're all quite weird. One was mango,
tuna pasta bake.
Yeah, they were really specific. So I wanted specific. So you had to taste them and guess them. But yeah, that was the hardest one, I'd say. What was the last one we had?
The last one was the Play-Doh.
Oh, DIY baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so whoever made the best baby, in a Moses basket or whatever. Yeah. But we had prizes for each game.
We did have prizes.
So we had a bottle of Moe, we had skin stuff and chocolates and more alcohol.
Yeah, we did.
So I feel like it was we did good, babe.
Well, we got up to give out the prizes and then Em started doing a speech, literally said 3 words and then handed it to me. She was like, "Thank you guys for coming." Now Cam's going to speak now.
Well, you know what I'm like. I was like, "Hi guys, just wanted to say thanks for coming," and now I'm going to hand over to Cam.
Yeah, you just handed it over to me.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what? I was annoyed because the next day I was a bit. I wanted to say just more about you. I wanted in front of all your friends and family just to say how proud I am of you, about how great you've been.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for something like that.
But I was just panicked because you threw it straight on me and I wasn't prepared. But I cried a lot the next morning.
Yeah, well,
I cried while mopping the kitchen floor. It was bad.
Yeah, I cried about how much the food bill was.
Did you? Because you didn't pay it.
Oh, for once! Oh!
I should be the one crying. Apart from all the little moaning parts here, it was a very, very nice day. And I'm glad we did it.
I know. And we also had our maternity shoot.
Oh, we did, yeah. Do you know what? The maternity shoot was unbelievable. So good. The vision you said, they smashed, I think.
I was naked the whole day, so I couldn't complain.
Considering I just stood there with my top off for 2 hours and didn't really do much, I should be the one to be negative. But I think it was a really good day. We had a Toby Carvery after.
We did.
Look on the bright side of life. Come on.
Did you not enjoy watching me prance around naked for 2 hours?
I did. I told you that. She was. It was. So the vibe and vision that Em gave was very You remember I said it was going to be like Dune. It kind of was that, but you were goddess vibes. You honestly were very, very beautiful, very majestic. There was one shot when you were led on your back and you were doing the arch back thing with your hand on your belly, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. That's Mother Earth shit.
Aww.
But yeah, we've had the maternity shoot. Everything He's ready to come now. Everything's been done.
I know, I've been getting some
cramps. Now. Yeah, you have. I thought you should go into labour today.
So we have a message from one of our lovely listeners, from Lexi. So, hi Em and Cam. Me and my partner love your pod. He usually refuses to listen to them normally.
So he doesn't listen to pods, but he listens to ours.
Oh, go us.
Yeah, okay.
Air high five.
Air high five.
We are expecting our first, a little man, June the 22nd.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God,
That's
they
very
could be
close.
besties. Your pod has been the best. It's so relatable for us both, as my partner relates to Cam on many levels. So thank you for making us laugh and not feel alone in this crazy journey. PSM, we share the same 30th birthday. Wait, hang on. So we share the same birthday and we're sharing the same due date for our son.
That's very nice.
Lexi,
message.
I think we should be best friends. Okay.
I got a bit, I'm literally a bit emotional. I don't know why, because like this is
why we do it.
That sums up like why we've done it. And like, even to have a
Yeah.
guy be like, oh, I relate to another guy, and like being a dad, that's like such an amazing thing. Because like, yeah, we have fun doing it here, but it's just the fact that those messages make all of it worth it. Because I think just from a dad point of view, I've got another dad going, I feel a little bit lost, but I can relate to Cam because he's trying to ask the questions that maybe I'd want to ask.
Lexi, thank you so much for your lovely, lovely message. I wish I could be emotional, but I'm an emotional zombie.
Yep, you are. I'll be the emotional one for both of us.
Okay.
So now we've got a very exciting guest on. Some of you may know her as the Naked Doula on Instagram, but we know her as Emma. You know, she's going to come on and chat all things birth. You've been reading her book, and she's a very special guest for you.
I finished her book, actually.
Em's finished the book.
That's actually the first book I've ever finished, like, probably in my adult life.
What about Of Mice and Men?
Huh?
Of Mice and Men?
What?
Of Mice and Men.
What's that?
You've never read Of Mice and Men? What did you do in GCSE English? What book did you read in GCSE?
Holes.
You didn't read Holes for your GCSE exam. No, you did.
I think I did.
Has everyone here read Of Mice and Men? Yeah.
We have read Of Mice and Men.
You have read Of Mice and Men.
You're not even making sense. You're saying you've read of Mice and Men.
The book is called Of Mice and Men. You know, with Lenny, he's like, the rabbits, and he poof.
What the hell? Why have I never heard of this?
Right, you've read it. I know.
No, I haven't.
I don't know what happened in your school then. If you did Holes for GCSE.
I was too busy around the bike sheds.
But anyway, let's get Emma on.
Emma, thank you so much for coming on. I have to say, I'm such a huge fan, and it's so nice to put a face to the name.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here and just talk all things birth. Honestly, like my favourite thing.
So I was going to say, Emma, so if people don't know you, do you want to give a brief intro to what you do, what you're about, what your message is?
So obviously my name is Emma. I am also known as the Naked Doula. I'm a doula, a hypnobirthing practitioner, a mother of two absolutely gorgeous, delicious boys, and a guide really for women to help them feel empowered, to help them find their spark and to feel really fucking good. Sorry about birth.
So, Emma, I have recently just packed my hospital bag. I'm talking very recently. We got in a bit of a Barney about it, actually.
It's a bit too recently.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be done a while ago.
I know, but it's done now. It's done now. But what, in your opinion, what are your essentials in a hospital bag?
Okay, essentials in a hospital bag. So obviously you have the very normal things that you need to take, like sanitary towels, toiletries, you know, pajamas, like something. I always love buying like new pajamas. It's like Christmas, like buying new pajamas.
That's my hobby.
Yeah, literally. So anything that's going to give you that comfort, that's going to feel comfortable in your skin. Remember that you know, are going to be moving around. You're going to be doing things. So yeah, all the normal things that people pack. However, I want to add some really other important things.
Please.
So anything that's going to boost your oxytocin. So, I'm not going to quiz you.
Vibrator.
That's what you were going to say. Oh my God, right.
That's what you were going to say.
Okay. But yeah, oxytocin boosters, like anything that's going to make you feel good, you know, sentimental items, things that feel nice. Do you know if you've got like a favourite pillow or like a blanket or even like a childhood teddy bear?
Okay.
Just things like this that are going to boost your oxytocin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need your music, a comb. So there's two things here with the comb. The first one is...
I've got a comb. I've got a comb too.
I love that. Was that actually for your hair? Or did
No. I got given this comb and I didn't know why, and I thought we were doing something with hair.
Okay, so can I grab your comb?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, when you take the comb, and please again, wooden comb, you're using the middle finger, find the spot in the middle of your hand. This is the P7 pressure point, and you're going to just pop the bottom of the comb, the pins of the comb there, and you're going to squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
Not too hard. We're
Okay.
not trying to hurt ourselves.
We're
not trying to hurt. But we're just trying to just give ourselves a sensation of feeling it into the hand. And what this does is, first of all, it acts as the gateway control theory. So basically, our mind cannot compute or concentrate on one sensation at a time. So when you're having these contractions, these sensations, your hand's closer than your uterus, right? So it's going to concentrate on the sensation of the hand. Not only that, but this particular pressure point on the hand is an amazing acupressure point, and it releases like endorphins, feel-good hormones. It relaxes the vagus nerve, which is amazing for just putting you in Zen zone and into the right frame of mind. Loads of people benefit.
Oh, love that. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So the comb.
The comb.
The comb has to be in there.
A
Wooden comb.
Wooden comb.
Wooden comb. I would also say, I don't know if you know about the flashcards. I need to send you the flashcards, Emily. Oh my God.
Do you write about this?
So I have flashcards, and they are basically like visuals with the short information, and you can like pin them up, and it reminds you of the techniques and the information that you
that's
need.
good.
Oh my God, that would be brilliant.
That's
Oh,
also
babe,
good for
so
me as
good.
well, because when she's like distracted, I can be like, okay, remember that, because then
Yes.
I can,
Yeah, they're great for birth partners
Yeah.
because it's a tool, and you can be like, oh, I know what's going on right now, and I can just refer
so
to
I'm
this
not
flashcard.
so like out of it and a bit confused. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I know
Right.
the techniques as well.
Yeah. As the birth partner, your job ultimately is to be the guardian of oxytocin.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great
I'm
name.
the
Yeah.
guardian of oxytocin.
You are a superhero.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
You've just made his day.
Yeah.
Calling him a
Ga-
superhero.
honestly, that's like that should be like a legit superhero, the guardian of oxytocin.
The guardian of oxytocin. So I talk about this in the book.
I feel
so-
that. Mm.
Yeah.
You resonate with that,
no,
yeah?
I feel
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you what oxytocin? Should we go?
Yeah,
go to
go
the
on.
basics?
Let's have a. Yeah, I
So
need
that
to.
you
I
know
need to
how to be
understand it
this-
from my power.
Yeah.
I'll understand oxytocin, and I'll give a quick origin story of how I become the guardian
Okay,
of oxytocin.
okay, cool. Oxytocin is the hormone of love and bonding. It's the hormone that in those intimate moments, in those connections, those social connections during sex, orgasms, is also the main hormone that is driving your labor. So if oxytocin is scared, if it's afraid, if it's like, oh, fearful, it's going to just dribble down. You're going to be feeling scared, emotional. Your body's not going to do things. It's like when you go to have sex and you're just, something's interrupting you, or you're not feeling it, and you know you might just lose it. You go like dry as a bone, you're like, oh my God, like this is just not feeling it. That is when
I don't
oxytocin
think
is
that
like,
ever happened with me.
well, that's good. This is great for birth, but ultimately in birth as well, if oxytocin is interrupted massively and adrenaline comes in, it's like, fuck you, oxytocin, then your body's going to be like, oh, the contractions are not going to be as optimal. Your body's going to be like slowing down. You're going to be starting to feel like things aren't happening, and it can interfere with the process.
Yeah.
So that is why oxytocin is so important. So Cam.
My origin story is on Valentine's Day, I've fallen into an orgy of zombies. They've eaten me. They're having an orgy, so that's where the love part was there.
Oh, yeah,
Oxytocin was there.
okay,
They've
yeah.
eaten me, and I'm left for dead. I'm on the floor. They all leave. There's someone comes in, clears me out. I resurrect as the guardian of oxytocin. I'm just full of love.
Oh my God.
You like it?
I love that.
We should add that into your book, I think.
Yeah.
I could
think-
give you some pictures and references.
Well,
if
I'm
you'd like.
writing the second one. Like,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I
one
feel
chapter.
left out.
Back to the point. I am the guardian of
You are the
oxytocin.
guardian of oxytocin.
So I need to
So
I need to
you-
make
yeah.
sure she is in her oxytocin
Yeah.
field.
Right.
You need to keep my levels up,
Yeah. That is literally.
which comes into play quite literally.
So I was actually sitting there the other day, and I was just looking at some of your reels on the podcast, and I was laughing to myself because this one, when you talk about perineal massage, I was like, oh, but you know, what about like when and if in labour you're like, no, babe, we need to get this oxytocin flowing, right? I need some clitoral stimulation. Then what?
This is what I'm talking about.
that's just-
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm the guardian of oxytocin. I'll do it. That's what he does. Not
Yeah,
to
but no,
everyone.
no, but Cam, you need to actually want to do it because I know what you're
No,
going to be
I
like.
will.
You're going to be like,
I will.
that's what you'll be like.
No, like at the end of the day, when it gets
Yeah. Literally.
All right.
no, when it gets down to it, like that's important. That's very important. I did the perineal massage thing. Yes,
Yeah, try do it without gagging.
I didn't gag. I was having fun.
To be fair, the whole thing just was mind blowing. That was even an option. Like you'd
Right.
never even think like when you're in labour that you're allowed to like
Yeah.
pleasure yourself or be pleasured.
Yeah, and as well, like a lot of people are like, that's so disgusting, but they
Yeah.
don't understand the connection
Right.
between sex and birth.
Yeah.
Like it's literally interlinked together. And like when you're in the depths of labour and you've got oxytocin flowing, like you may not even be feeling it. You may be like, just leave me alone, and that's fine. Like
Yeah.
you know, you
I feel
have
like
to
that's-
read the
that's
room.
what I thought. You know, if I start, I'm like, come on, Em, and she's like, fuck
yeah,
off.
But obviously,
Because that's what my mum said. My mum was encouraged to. Apparently, like, they were like, "Oh, why don't you get you and your dad?" And apparently, mum was like, "I don't want him anywhere near."
Oh
me."
yeah, she was
Yeah.
encouraged to have
So-
nipple play.
Yeah. So I feel
Yeah.
like obviously I will read the room. I'm not just gonna come on. Let's
Yeah.
do it. I'll see
Yeah.
how the guardian of oxytocin knows what he's doing.
Are there any hacks to reduce labour time?
So first of all, the oxytocin is the top.
Yeah.
This is why your role, Cam, is important as guardian of oxytocin, because that ultimately is going to really influence how long labour is taking. Secondly, is during those contractions is the floppy face.
Floppy
Floppy
fanny.
fanny.
I've heard that one. Floppy fanny.
Yes. So this is all about really dropping your face, relaxing your jaw.
This is easy for me because I'm a mouth breather.
Yeah, she sleeps like that.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So you can literally be like,
Yeah.
just letting it go.
Yeah.
And I always say it's like such a bitch, like resting bitch face. If you're good at that, if you're just like, like you're winning. But it's good. That's really good because having your mouth open, like during, contractions.
Stop looking at me.
During contractions and actually having the baby is like perfect because it's allowing these muscles to relax, which means your pelvic floor is relaxing, everything's getting out the way, making more space, your
Yeah.
uterus is being able to work because your uterus is this big group of muscles. Like that's what's happening. It's contracting, and it's contracting, it's actually moving the muscles up, moving baby down, helping to dilate the cervix. So if you can literally master floppy face, floppy fanny, you're going to get like optimal dilation, you're going to get smoother contraction, which in turn may lead to a shorter labour. But a long labour doesn't always mean like a bad situation,
No.
by the way.
No.
It's so like not black and white.
Yeah.
There is another thing that can reduce shorter first stages of labour, which is like the contracting part, which is eating dates.
She's
I'm on it.
What do they do? Why do they work?
So what the studies show basically is for 77% of women who consume dates at least 4 weeks up to the birth, they have a shorter first stage. So basically they're ripening the cervix, they're helping strengthen the uterus. So most of these women, like 70% of these women, have, upon arrival to hospital, been more dilated than others that hadn't, which means like they've gone through, contracting and they're obviously just, being able to manage it better or like being able to flow through it better. So when they get to the hospital, they're more dilated.
Okay.
And they are managing it better. And I think this is from strengthening the uterus. This is why, like, just putting it out there with orgasms again, sorry about this, but if
Don't
you like during
apologise.
your pregnancy are experiencing orgasms or, whether it's like a vibrator or, whatever it means it is, it's strengthening your uterus. I was literally on it all the time. Yeah. I was
See, because
so
his
horny.
mum told me from early on to do it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I love
Yep,
that.
she did.
Yeah, she did. And I need to take that into consideration when I get home later. That's it. Game over. That vibrator's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're either in or you're in.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Guardian of oxytocin. Yeah.
So we've spoken about hypnobirthing on the podcast. Do you have any breathing techniques that can be used for smoother contractions?
More than anything, you just want to be taking deep breaths in and longer breaths out and focus breathing when you're having your contractions. I always do the 1, 2, 3, relax, 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 like in my mind, like when I'm working with people. But it's just focusing on your breath. It's like literally being in that moment, right? It's being aware of what's happening, focusing on your breath, letting it flow and letting your body relax, ultimately.
And on that topic, something I find really interesting that you speak about is the fact that you actually breathe your baby out rather than push your baby out.
Yes. I've got thousands of women that have used this technique. And it's not basically like blowing out a candle. We're not like going to be there going, But let me tell you, if you was in a coma, like women in comas have babies.
What?
Yeah.
Well, because your body is doing the work.
Your uterus, right? So let's go back to this big muscle. It's like contracting, building up like this. And then when it's time for the baby to actually be born, when you're fully dilated, or even before that, it can start happening, that's not an indication, then the uterus starts pushing the baby down. So what you need in that moment is to get your pelvic floor out the way, which is why we have to really loosen and drop our jaw, in that moment, in this sensation that's happening, and we want to help it. We don't want to be like, imagine when you go to the toilet, right? I'm going to just go on to poo now, like just let's go to the
it's our favourite
extremes.
topic.
We like poo.
So when you go to the toilet and you like a bit constipated, you can't get the poo out. Imagine if you're there going, like trying to force it out. It's not coming.
Gonna get piles.
Yeah, it hurts.
I actually said this to you. I said, because Em told me this, and I was like, it makes sense. Because like when I go for a poo, I don't push. It just comes out. But if I do push, it's gonna cause problems like piles or like just pain. I just breathe my shit out.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what you say. You let it come you let the baby come when it's ready. Like you can't force it to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're in that moment and you're on the toilet, like doing that's not going to help. So this is a great way to practice the exercise, like men and women,
It's by pooing.
is by pooing and using this exercise. So what you're doing is you're taking a deep breath in, but you're actually taking the breath and pushing it down the body. So it's kind of like, I can never do this without sound. Like I'm happy to give you an example,
please
but
do.
I am a sound person.
Yeah.
Are you gonna squeeze?
Are you ready for this?
Oh, go on.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, I'm a little bit.
So a lot of people can do this without noise, but for me it's with noise. So this is how I would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay.
Low vibrational tones.
Well, you do that every time you poo?
No.
Right.
I was honestly.
No, but when you've got your baby and you're like really
right,
bearing
okay.
down
Right,
and you're using this breath. But you don't have to do that. But if I was like really wanted to help the
try it.
uterus and
It's too much.
you're holding it here.
Oh,
You've got to push it down.
You're pushing it down into the diaphragm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, think
That's
about
quite icky.
sex. Think about
Oh,
noises. Think about
didn't
think about orgasm. Think about, but not high.
No.
Turn
Not
it,
high.
turn it into low vibrational tones.
Oh. No, you're holding it for too long. You've got to just go like,
Oh, let it go. Yes, yes, yes.
Cam, don't look at me like that. You're going to be out the birthing room.
I'm BP, baby. Birth partner. I'm staying in there.
A lot of people use noise. Some people don't. Like some people are so silent.
My
Some
mum
people-
apparently was silent.
Yeah, some people are not even doing anything. They said, I just breathed and the baby just came. And ultimately that can happen because baby's just coming in their own time. And people always get a bit scared about this point. They're like, oh, why is it taking so long? Babe, those pauses are like amazing because they're helping to stretch the perineum. They're allowing your body to recharge. They may be allowing for the baby to just have a bit of a maneuver, like get into the right position so that when they are like entering into the world, they're doing it like just at the perfect time. So you just want to help. You're just like, I'm just going to like work with you, uterus. I'm going to like work with my body rather than going, I need to fucking get this out. Because when we're doing this, tensing, everything's tensing up. Your vagina's going to be like this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming adrenaline then comes into play.
Adrenaline comes into play, but not that.
Knocks me out of a job then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you are literally a goner.
Yeah.
You know? And not just that, if you are like holding your breath, right, when this is happening, you're reducing oxygen to your baby.
Yeah.
Like there's a massive study done on this, on like coach pushing and all of, you know, pushing down and this gritted teeth and actually, you know, it increases intervention, it increases tearing. And when they switched it completely and just allowed women and just worked with them, you know, standing up instead of laying down and moving around and just letting them go with their body, they saw such a massive reduction in intervention, in tears, in, you know, in the satisfaction rate. So, you know, it's win-win. Win-win.
So as a birthing partner, what would your top like 3 or 5 tips be for a birthing partner?
Okay, first of all is that key is oxytocin. So this is what it's based all around, right? So it's about setting the scene. Like it's your job, like whether you're at home, whether you're in the hospital, to set the scene, turn the lights
I
down.
was going to say this. What can I do with the lights in the hospital room? Because I hate them.
Yeah.
Can I just turn them off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go in,
Okay, then
turn the
fuck
lights.
Will he not get told off?
No,
Do you know what? If they turn them off,
No.
I'll be like,
no,
fuck
because
off. I'm glad in oxytocin. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
yeah.
Turn them off. We've got actually a thing. We've got a little box light with like a little
Yeah.
yeah.
Galaxy
light, which I'll put
Yeah.
down. Because obviously we don't want it to be pitch black. We need to know what's going on. But, you know.
Yeah, like absolutely, just like
Ambiance.
set the scene. Just imagine like you're going into a room and you're setting it up for like this fucking amazing experience, like this celebration.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Like a date romantic kind of
Right.
vibe.
Yes, absolutely. Like set things up, get the pictures up, you know, get the blankets out, get the cushions ready, get the music playing, you know, like set the scene. Like that's first.
Get the ring ready.
We'll get pushed.
Yeah. That'd be a great oxytocin boost. Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
Next tip.
Yeah. So second is to be an advocate.
Okay.
You are there as a protector. Yeah, this is also part of your role as the guardian of oxytocin. If Emily's saying, babe, like when I get in there, like I really, you know, I don't want to be disturbed. Can they just, you know, speak to you first? Like if there's something they really need.
So that's my job to do
right?
that. So I'm
you
not,
are
I'm just gonna stand
advocating.
there like a little puss. I need to be like, okay, I'm here for her.
Yes.
So I'm the one speaking. So if
Yeah.
okay.
What's the
I
birth
like that.
plan?
That's quite empowering as a man as well, because I think that gives power back to
absolutely.
men and as dads, because it's like, well, actually, I have a big role in this, and that's to protect you. I like this.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like back in caveman days, I'd be having to fight. She'd be in the cave, and I'd be having to fight off whatever's in front of the cave.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what that's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thirdly is really read the room, because even if you pick up your phone to look at the football or to look at something or to watch a video, she will know, even if she cannot see. Honestly, the vibe, like when you're in labor, because of the height of the hormones, you are so intuitive to everything. So like, or if a midwife comes in like, oh hi, like what did you have for breakfast this morning? Don't be having conversations, you know, that is going to be
Don't be chatting other
distracting.
bitches up when I'm in labour, basically.
Into that.
Yeah, no distractions.
So if she comes in and asks me what I have for breakfast, just be like, fuck off.
Or no, because then obviously...
Oh, hang on, you panicked me. Don't speak to people.
Don't fucking speak to any women when I'm in labour.
Just, it's all about you, okay?
Yeah, it's
Not
all about
what
me.
I have for breakfast.
Yeah.
That's not important, really,
You
is
know,
it?
so if you are having conversations or want to have conversations, obviously, you know, read the room. It might be that you're like there and you're chatting away to people when you're like having a great time, you know, and that's great. Like if you're involved in the conversation.
Read the room.
But
I like
if
that.
you are there and you're like really focused, like the worst thing is if someone's like, oh, do you want some sandwiches?
Yeah. Oh my God, you go on holiday after this.
Yeah. That's the worst. You'll be like, fuck off, you know,
Yeah.
because you are in the
The
midst of labor.
zone. I'm in the zone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Read the room.
exactly. Fourth is, again, reading the room, but using like touch, connection,
Massage.
intimacy. Like
He struggles with that.
right.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean,
Alright.
yeah. So my husband was a bit like this as well. Like he can get a bit uncomfortable, like especially when there's like other people. Like he's like, oh, you know. But ultimately, this is absolutely a life-changing, transformational time for both of you. This is the birth of your baby. Do you want like just it to be like, oh, I'm just going to stand around, or do you want to be involved?
No, I do. I want to be involved.
Yeah.
I do. Like I struggle with intimacy sometimes, but that's just like in day to day. But that's, it's not.
That's a whole.
That's not.
other
So that's not
subject.
something we'll get into. You know, that's like for therapy. But like when it comes to birth, I want to be as involved as possible.
Yeah,
Like,
so
and
just-
I know I will as well.
Right. So be there, like hold a hand. Like, is there anything you need? Like, you're doing amazing. You know, like words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Really supportive, and even like just hugging, kissing.
Yeah.
Just being together. Don't be afraid and think like, oh, I can't do that because someone's in here or something's going on. Like, who gives a fuck at the end of the day? This is your birth.
Yeah.
And what makes you feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
In my head.
Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably not recommended if you're in labour.
Oh,
but
right.
outer stimulation, absolutely. Nipple
it's a
stimulation,
shame. It's a shame.
absolutely.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I actually had a friend who they had sex like night before she was giving birth on the hospital bed,
That's mental.
and she had a great birth.
Yeah.
Well, as long as
I
she had a
love
good
that.
birth.
She had a great birth.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've definitely helped me retrain my brain as to what I thought birthing was supposed to be like painful and like, you know, really stressy and really, you know, just not a good experience. But where you talk about giving birth, it's like a journey.
Oh, babe, literally, you are like the epitome of what women should be feeling.
Yeah, like the way you talk about it, it's like I'm almost bit so scared to say, but almost like excited.
Yes.
Because it is such a magical thing when you think about it, like that women go through. And like, why should we not celebrate it and like enjoy it?
Right.
You know, we'll try and enjoy it.
Do you think that like modern like culture, like films, TV shows, has given that kind of view on pregnancy? Because that's where I got it from. Like, you'd watch these films and they'd be like, trying to squeeze it out, and you'd be like, that looks fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where it's come from?
Oh, absolutely. And they always make it on like the comedy films, don't they? Like Hollywood comedy films, like where, you know, people are being rushed in, they've got legs in the air and there's blood everywhere and it's just like manic and people are screaming. Yeah, honestly, there is a massive thing around this, and we are like conditioned from such a young age, like even as a child, you know, like the things that we hear, the things that we learn, how we feel about our bodies. And then as we move forward and we're starting to, you know, see things on social media, or we see things on telly, or we're watching the films, as you'll know from the book, they're all going into our brain library, our hippocampus, where we're literally building up a picture of what birth and labour looks like. Yeah. So let's say, for example, like you never even decided to even prepare at all, and you go straight in, and with you, Cam, and you both go in, and all you've got is like, you know, Rachel from Friends, you know, screaming, giving birth, like in your mind. Yeah. You're both going to be shitting yourselves, aren't you? And then that has a massive effect on what's actually happening inside your body.
Yeah, and on baby.
Yeah, and on the baby.
But you, when part of your book, when I was saying to you about dancing through labour,
oh my God,
you couldn't believe it, could you? You were like, what?
No, I was like, what? Surely not. Like, but then I get it. I get why, though. I understand why. I'm like, okay. Again, I think like, because Em was telling me all the things from your book, but I was like, because I'm so conditioned to think what birth is as to what I know it is. So I'm like, no, surely they wouldn't let that happen. Do you know what I mean? In my head, I'm like, it's a professional, medical, serious. Yeah. But like, it doesn't, that's like what you're saying, it doesn't have to be.
Cam, we're smashing this out the water right now. It is not. This is the thing. We have been led to believe, right, that as women, as people, that we have not got the power. We've not got the ability to give birth. And birth partners often feel like, especially the men, like they are just loose, like, you know, things like, what do I do? But actually, like, there's a massive impact that they have on this experience. And it's not about, like, you know, bearing in mind, I have had 2 medicalized births. Yeah. You know, like that's my story. But I fully believe, and I've guided thousands and thousands of women through physiological birth. Our bodies work. Yeah. Our bodies work. And all these policies and things and restrictions that we have in place actually hinder the process a lot of the time. They do not help. No. And that's why we have to understand, so we can influence it, right? We can work through it, and then you can not be afraid when you're in a position where you're like, oh, should you be dancing, and should you be doing this, and should you be doing that? Like they've said, lie on the bed, for example. No, absolutely not.
This is what I was going to say.
You do what you're doing, babe.
So one of the things I love about you is that you tell, like, you give people the option to say no. Like before, I would have been so scared to say no to a midwife or a doctor, but you're so right in what you say. It's your body, your choice. Like if you don't want a cervix sweep, you don't have to have a cervix sweep.
Exactly. And this is the thing, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a midwife, a doctor, a doula. Like a doula, by the way, like only ever gives emotional support. Yeah. So we know that statistically, if you have that person, such as a doula, who's there with you, because it's not to replace a birth partner, absolutely not.
So I'm not doula, I'm birth partner.
You take on a sort of like a role like a doula.
But
you're giving that support.
I'm BP,
but you're main man, do you know what I mean? You are the main.
Thank you.
You are the birth partner. It's important. A doula will stay with you throughout that experience, giving you that emotional support, guiding you, helping you, you know, make decisions, but not make decisions for you. Like if anyone, doula, midwife, anyone is saying you have to do something, absolutely, that's a red flag, you know? Right. Yeah. But statistically with doulas, if you then have them throughout your pregnancy and then birth, you are literally laughing, you know? Like you have less pain relief, you have less intervention, like you have more satisfaction. It's all to do, not with the fact that, oh, it's a doula. Listen, you know, I'm just being a bit controversial here. You don't actually need a doula. It's having that person who you've got that trusting relationship with throughout pregnancy, and then they're emotionally supporting you in birth.
So Emma, thank you so much for being on. Honestly, I feel like I thought I was going to learn that much. I thought it was all about birth, but I've actually learned a lot as well, which is great. And a massive congratulations on the book. Do you wanna plug the book? Plug the book away.
Yeah. So the Fearless Birth book is the book that we've all been talking about and referring to. And this is really about enabling women to find their power. It's about building self-trust and self-awareness and coming back to yourself, because ultimately, if you can trust yourself, if you can trust your body, if you can trust your decisions, then literally the world is your oyster,
You're
right?
laughing.
And this is what it all comes down to. And no matter the birth, it's so inclusive.
Yeah.
It's so inclusive. It's not about like, oh, you have to have this type of birth. It's actually about what feels good for you. You
Yeah.
know, nobody else,
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And to actually get into a state of mind where you're like, no, I trust myself so much. Like that is really the gift that I want every woman to just grab and just ignite,
Yeah.
you know, inside of them.
I love that. And yeah, just to add to that, from my personal experience of your book, it was just like a complete guide on like how it should be done. And yeah, I couldn't recommend your book enough.
Thank
yeah,
you
thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, I could literally speak to Emma all day.
No, she was amazing. I
She
really
was
enjoyed
so good.
it.
She's one of my faves.
Yeah, I would say one of my faves too. I think it really opened my eyes as well, because obviously you read the book, so you were much more equipped in this conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like someone just went and I was like, I feel like I now get it more. Like,
yeah,
I need
like
to
she
stop-
gives us confidence.
Yeah, I need to stop saying, oh, can I do this? I can do it. Soon to be mums and dads should listen to it and read the book, because I think it's
100%.
useful
Go
for
get that
both,
book.
for both parties, I think.
Yeah. My favourite book ever, apart from Holes.
What did she, I was going to ask her, I forgot. Apart from Holes. I was going to ask her, why does she call herself the Naked Doula? Do you know? Why is it naked?
Do you think she gets naked in the birthing
Well, it's
room?
like the Naked Chef, isn't it? Jamie Oliver. He could call himself the Naked Chef.
Does
But
he?
I always wonder why he called himself the Naked Chef. Why did he do that?
We should have asked.
The naked is like raw.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why Jamie Oliver would be the Naked Chef, because it's like raw food and like raw rustic. Okay.
You don't like Jamie Oliver.
I fucking love Jamie Oliver. What are
You
you on about?
you used to
I watch his
slag-
Christmas specials every year.
You used to slag him off because he banned turkey twizzlers.
Yeah, yeah, of course I hate him for that, but like at some point you've got to let go. Yes, he banned turkey twizzlers, which I ate for every single day for about 4 years of my life when I was about 8 to 12. But I like his voice and I like his enthusiasm for cooking, so I've buried that.
Okay.
Me and Jamie have buried our beef.
Okay, good.
So thank you very much for listening, guys. And remember, if you want to get in touch with us with questions, queries, funny stories, just lovely messages like the one today, you can email us on nwtb@jampotproductions.co.uk, or you can message us at Now We're Talking Baby on Instagram or TikTok.
Why don't we set a challenge? Why don't someone try and write something in to try and make me cry?
We'll
Make me get emotional.
Okay, let's make you cry next
Let's
episode.
make Emily cry.
That'll be a tough one.
Yeah.
See you later,
See you
guys.
later, kids.
Thanks for watching.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
Now we're talking, babe.